It's 2047 a.m. You're scanning shortwave frequencies through static and distant voices when you catch something. A man speaking Persian, reading numbers. 3, 7, 9, 2. The voice is steady, unhurried, like someone reading coordinates to a place that doesn't exist on any map. Somewhere in the world, someone is listening to this same broadcast, and only they know what it means. On February 28, 2026, 12 hours after the first bombs fell on Iran, a new voice appeared on shortwave radio. It had never broadcast before that night. Radio monitors around the world caught the signal simultaneously. A male voice, Persian, just numbers, and it hasn't stopped broadcasting since. The station is now designated V32. It broadcasts twice daily. Each transmission takes 2 full hours to complete, and no government on Earth has claimed it. To understand what V32 is, you need to understand what numbers stations are, and they've been around longer than most people realize. Number stations appeared during World War I. By the Cold War, they were everywhere. Strange voices reading sequences of numbers on shortwave frequencies. English, Russian, Spanish, German, sometimes a woman's voice, sometimes a child's. Always the same thing. Numbers that meant nothing to anyone except one person. The genius of number stations is brutal simplicity. Anyone with a shortwave radio can receive the broadcast, but only one person can decode it. That's because number stations use something called a one-time pad. It's a form of encryption that's mathematically unbreakable if you use it correctly. Here's how it works. The sender and the receiver both have identical pads of random numbers. Thousands of them. Each page is used exactly once, then destroyed. The message gets encrypted using the random numbers on the pad. Without the matching page, there's no pattern to find, no code to crack. The math is absolute. And the recipient? They just need a cheap radio. No internet connection. No phone. No electronic trail that anyone can follow. Perfect operational security. For decades, governments denied that number stations existed. They were ghost frequencies. Hallucinations of amateur radio operators with too much time. Then came the Cuban 5 trial in 2001. Federal prosecutors proved that Cuban spies had been receiving instructions via number stations. The ghost became real. Evidence showed the spies had been listening to a station called Espionage. They had software on their laptops that could decode the number sequences. The system worked. After the Cold War ended, number stations began to fade. Fewer frequencies, fewer voices. By 2016, most of the old stations had gone silent. According to Priam.org, the largest numbers station database, V32 may be the first new voice number station formally classified in over a decade. It appeared on February 28, 2026, at exactly 18:30 UTC. That was 12 hours, almost to the minute, after the first military strikes against Iran began. And that timing, that's not coincidence. You don't launch a numbers station in 12 hours. Not unless you've been preparing for months, maybe years. The first broadcast hit 79.7 kHz. A male voice speaking Persian began reading groups of numbers. Each message block was preceded by a word, tavajo. Tavajo means attention in Persian. It's spoken 3 times between each message block. The same structure used by Cuban number stations for decades. V32 broadcasts twice daily at 1802 UTC. Each transmission contains 6 separate messages. Reading them all takes 2 full hours. That's 12 messages a day, 48 hours of encrypted content per month, sent to recipients who could be anywhere inside a country going dark. When the strikes began, Iran's internet infrastructure was among the first targets. Fiber optic cables cut, cell towers disabled. The country was being severed from the world. But shortwave doesn't need infrastructure. The signal bounces off the ionosphere. It crosses borders like they don't exist. You can't cut a wire that isn't there. Direction finding analysis traced V32's transmission site. The signal originates from the Black Forest region of Germany, near a known antenna farm. Germany, NATO territory. which raises questions nobody wants to answer. Does Berlin know? Did they authorize it? Or is someone using their airspace without permission? According to Preom.org's analysis, the two prime candidates for V-32's operators are the United States and Israel. They prepared the war. They had the infrastructure ready, having a network of agents inside Iran and having a number station ready to activate within 12 hours. That suggests years of planning. Deep infiltration. Iran noticed. On March 4, 2026, less than a week after V-32 appeared, Iranian bubble jammers began interfering with the 79.1 frequency. 2 days later, V-32 moved. It shifted to 7842 kHz. The operators were adapting. Cat and mouse across the electromagnetic spectrum. By March 18, V-32 switched back to the original frequency, but with a new voice format. The broadcast had become automated, more resistant to disruption. Somewhere in Iran right now, someone is listening to these broadcasts. Maybe more than one person. They have the one-time pad. They know what the numbers mean. They might be military officers, intelligence assets cultivated over years, or ordinary people who agreed to listen and pass along what they heard. We'll never know their names. That's the point. The beauty of the system is its invisibility. The message arrives. The pad gets destroyed. No evidence remains. Some analysts question whether V-32 is genuine intelligence at all. It could be psychological warfare. Make Iran believe its government has been deeply penetrated. Imagine being an Iranian security official. You hear about V-32. You know someone inside your borders is receiving encrypted instructions from a hostile power, but you can't find them. The paranoia alone is a weapon. Every colleague becomes suspect. Every loyalist might be a traitor. The signal itself destabilizes, even if no one is listening. But the sophistication of V-32's operations suggests it's real. The timing, the frequency hopping, the infrastructure required. This isn't theater. Someone is receiving. The Preom database tracks V-32 activity in real time. Every broadcast, every frequency change, every message logged and time-stamped by amateur monitors around the world. These are ordinary people, hobbyists, shortwave enthusiasts in Germany, Poland, the United States. They document signals that governments want to keep secret. The Shortwave Archive has posted recordings of V-32. You can listen right now. The steady voice. The Persian numbers. The word Tavajo repeated like a heartbeat. If you're curious, you could monitor V-32 yourself. The station broadcasts on 7910 kHz at 1802 UTC. Web-based receivers let you listen from anywhere. Sites like websdr.org connect you to shortwave receivers around the world. No equipment needed. You can hear what the monitors hear. In real time. The Preom database at preom.org maintains complete logs of V-32 activity. Frequency changes, schedule updates, recordings. It's an open-source intelligence archive. There's something unsettling about listening to V-32, knowing that somewhere, someone's life might depend on receiving these numbers. And you're hearing the same broadcast they are. You hear the voice, steady, patient, reading numbers that mean nothing to you. But to one person, maybe huddled in a basement in Tehran, those numbers are everything. Number stations have been operating since World War I. Over a century of ghosts on the airwaves. And V-32 proves they're not relics. They're tools that still work. In an age of encrypted messaging apps and satellite communications, V-32 feels almost quaint. A voice on shortwave. Random numbers. Paper pads burned after use. But that's exactly why it works. No servers to hack. No metadata to analyze. No electronic footprint. Just radio waves that disappear the moment they're broadcast. The NSA can intercept phone calls. They can crack encryption. But a one-time pad used correctly? There's no mathematical shortcut. The key is the message. Whoever built V-32 understood this. They weren't being nostalgic, they were being practical. When digital systems fail or get compromised, analog remains. And right now, As you listen to this, V32 is broadcasting. Or it was a few hours ago. Or it will be in a few hours. The schedule continues. The numbers keep coming. Tavajo, attention. Someone in Iran is paying attention. They're writing down numbers in the dark, matching them against a pad they've kept hidden for years. And when they're done, they'll know something. Orders, coordinates, a name, a date, information that could change everything, or nothing at all. We'll never know what V32 says. That's the point. The encryption is perfect. The message is invisible. Only the existence of the signal proves anything is happening at all. V32 is a ghost frequency made real, a signal from nowhere to no one, as far as we can tell. But someone is listening. Someone always is. The next broadcast is scheduled. The voice will speak. The numbers will come. And somewhere in the dark, someone will understand what we never will. If stories like this stay with you, the strange signals, the hidden operations, the things happening just beyond what we can see, subscribe. We find them every week. This has been Night Shift Stories. 3792. Tavajo.